Josh here. This week on Doctor Who Reviews, we will be doing the Robots of Sherwood. Yeah, okay, anyway. This is far from spoiler free, so if you haven't watched it, go, I commend you. Watch it. No, go watch it. Now, I'm going to assume you're back. Now, the episode actually starts off with the Doctor and Clara and the TARDIS, and they're trying to figure out where they want to go. The Doctor actually says, okay, anywhere in time and space. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of a nice little throwback. That was a nice little throwback there. Clara chooses, so she chooses to go back to ancient Britain, and, not ancient, but medieval Britain, and it's Robin Hood. Now, I gotta preface this by saying, I'm much more of a sci-fi guy than fantasy, so this episode kind of started with a yawn for me, so just take that with a grain of salt. Okay, well, one of the things I noticed, they get there, and the Doctor's like, no, there's no such thing as Robin Hood. Immediately, the TARDIS gets shot with an arrow, which I thought was hilarious. It was pretty funny. And the Doctor and Robin Hood are dueling. Like, he says, no, it's my screwdriver, that sort of thing. But also, they're fighting at the river, and the Doctor knocks Robin Hood into the lake through some kind of weird technique, balancing on the log, blah, 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 that sort of thing. And it was actually pretty funny. But then the Doctor gets knocked in. He kind of acts like a little bit of a wet cat. I gotta admit, those two do not get along. Mostly, it's a contest of mine is bigger than yours the whole episode, which is kind of annoying. The Doctor actually doesn't think any of them are real. He refuses to believe that the Sheriff or his merry men are possibly real. And then they actually get invited to a contest at an archery contest. Robin Hood immediately gets a bullseye, of course. It's a trap, but also the Doctor ends up getting a bullseye and splitting Robin Hood's arrow in half. I don't know how that worked. Well, they explain it later. They get captured. I will also say it's a very pretty dungeon. Just saying, very pretty for a dungeon. There was also a lot of murder in this episode, too, just on that note. But yeah, there's a lot of, I guess you could say steampunk elements in this episode, but it's medieval, so horsepunk? There's a ship that these robots that actually are Nottingham, they actually aren't real. They are robots, with the exception of the Sheriff. The goons are all robots and cyborgs. So it actually got interesting for me at that point. The ship is actually the Sheriff's castle, and it runs on gold. They need gold to make orbit, so they're mining, the whole slave labor dance. That sounds a lot more fun than it is. But the ships needed to make gold. Apparently there was a golden arrow that was given as a prize for the archery contest. In the end, in order to get the ship to make orbit, they actually have to shoot the gold arrow to shoot the ship with it. The thing about it is, the aliens can't survive orbit for whatever reason. Like I said, this episode didn't really catch my attention that much. The funny thing is, Robin Hood was injured in the fight, which actually how he ends up dueling with... Robin does end up fighting with Nottingham at the end, but we'll get to that, because I'm derping, apparently. It is kind of funny, is that Clara actually banters with the Sheriff and outwits the Sheriff of Nottingham. Honestly, I would say the star of this episode who actually does things is Clara, and honestly, Robin Hood and the Doctor just bicker a lot the whole episode. It was kind of irritating for me. They actually get captured at one point, and that's where you really see the bickering end of it. And they do eventually escape, of course. Of course, the Doctor continues to not believe any of this is real, or at least for the first half. But anyway, actually, it kind of goes along. One of the quotes in this episode: "Everyone should have a hobby. Mine's annoying you," which actually was pretty funny. In the end, actually, Robin Hood was injured, so he couldn't actually shoot the ship with a golden arrow to get them to orbit, and I actually can't remember why. And the Doctor, well, he cheated. He used a homing arrow to split Robin Hood's arrow. So yeah, in the end, Clara actually attempts and makes the shot, which was really cool. So yeah, I will say all in all, this episode, honestly, in my opinion, kind of sucked. the first half was particularly, it was just slow, and I just didn't catch my attention. I was kind of bored. I didn't like the Doctor being portrayed as just some twit with personal insecurity issues. Like I said, it does have one redeemable part in the end. Actually, the Doctor does bring Marion and Robin Hood back together in the end. They were actually this big thing where he misses her and all that, and yeah. But I gotta say, I really didn't like the episode. I think because of the second half, I'm going to have to give it 2 out of 5 stars. Maybe I'll put some star graphics up this week. But yeah, that's kind of my review of that. Sorry, but anyway, that's my review. Peace out.